Up next on Small Town Big Deal.
Time to get dirty.
We're slinging dirt and sliding sideways with Wisconsin's fastest grandma.
Plus,
No nipping. No nipping.
and we go deep into bluegrass country to see how the Triple Crown winners of tomorrow are bred. Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl. We are in Spring Valley, Minnesota, population about 2,500.
And Jan, there is a summer rite of passage in many small towns across America that bring out about 10,000 people on a typical weekend night.
So are you ready to get down and dirty
And geared up,
for something loud?
this is Deer Creek Speedway, a 3/8 of a mile dirt oval located in the heart of Minnesota farm country. It's 15 miles south of Rochester, Minnesota, just west of the Wisconsin border.
We were invited by Claim Dushek. He hosts a local radio show that's all about dirt track racing. We soon found out this sport is enjoyed by people of all ages, whether it's in the grandstands or in the driver's seat.
What you'll find out is many of these families, Grandpa raced, Dad raced, now the son races, and there are also so many talented females coming into racing.
And that's certainly true at Deer Creek, the racing home of Bonnie Jablonski, Wisconsin's fastest grandma.
Oh, I've always wanted to race. I have this awesome husband who gave me that opportunity to do so. So he actually had to go build his own.
So yeah, after she did it, you said what to yourself?
Well, I bought the car thinking that she'd chicken out and I'd drive it. That didn't work. So a year later, I had to build my own.
So racing alongside this grandma is Grandpa Ron. Bonnie and Ron spend a lot of time in the garage preparing their cars for the weekend.
He works very hard,
These are a lot of work.
and I do a lot of the wrenching too. It's not in the mind, it's in the muscle.
Ron and Bonnie still work full-time jobs and somehow find time to spend with their 11 grandchildren.
Your title, Wisconsin's fastest grandma.
Yeah.
You embrace it?
I didn't at first. Quite a few years ago, a buddy of ours goes, "Hey, I got a name for you, Wisconsin's fastest grandma," and I just growled. And he said, "No," he said, "that's you." And a few years later, you know, when the grandkids started coming around and the kids started coming down in the pits and we're putting the kids in there, and that's when I took it all in and I said, you know what, yeah, I'm grandma, I can still have fun, and that's cool, I like it.
These two never slow down. There's always something that needs to be done.
So, with some reservation, they allowed us to help out in the shop. Hey, changing a tire or working in the shop, no problem for a farm boy like me. But Jan?
You want to groove a tire?
Sure.
We can do that.
Whatever that is, I'm game.
Every week we race these cars, and then every week we take the tires and we rough them back up with a grinder and make them rough. And we cut grooves into the rubber so they're biting. Every time you're on the gas, every little groove is gripping that track, and you're just trying to get that little inch, because that little inch might be all you need.
And these blades cut little tiny lines. Press and pull, and the deeper, the harder you pull, the better it works. You got it.
Ooh!
Yep, don't want to poke yourself.
Do you ever feel like you're setting an example? Because I think you are.
I'm setting an example for women. I'm setting an example for older women. I'm 57 years old, and I've been doing it for 10 years. I tell you, the guys, when I first started, they didn't like me. There was a few of them that were black flagged because they literally put me into the wall.
That doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't. They respect me now.
There's actually a good number of women racing around the country these days, but that respect was a long time coming.
In 1901, Camille Dugast, a wealthy French widow, competed in the famous Paris-Berlin race. She started dead last of 122 entrants, but finished a respectable 33rd.
In 1932, Odette Seco drove her Alfa Romeo to a 4th place finish in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Still, the best finish by any woman in that event.
And in 1977, Janet Guthrie made a statement for women in racing, when in the modern era, she competed in the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500 in the same year.
Money races like Daytona are not Bonnie's speed. For her, it's just about the thrill of racing.
So I'm guessing you don't make money at this. It's more of a hobby.
No, sir, we don't make money. This is a hobby. This is a true love, husband-wife hobby.
I'm thinking you might lose money, but you gain togetherness.
We gain togetherness. You know, we would drive motorcycle together, boat together, snowmobile together. We've done everything
Anything
together.
with an engine.
Yeah. I mean, Bonnie and Ron are always together, even on the racetrack.
Like the night Bonnie slowed down to avoid another car and then Ron slammed into the back of her.
I stuck my tire right in the back of her seat, basically. We were stuck together. They had to tear us apart with a tow truck. And she's sitting there wondering what happened, and she couldn't see me, but.
Yeah, it was him behind me. I had no idea.
Did you jump out and run the other way?
No, we don't. You know, that night the announcer at the track said to the crowd, he goes, well, that's going to be a long ride home. But then when it was all over, we got back up in the stands, we gave each other a kiss and waved at the flag guys up top.
The gloves go on when we get on the track, and the gloves come off when we step out of the car. I'm excited and I'm happy because I'm living life and I'm loving it all.
When Ron and Bonnie arrive at the track, there was no time to waste before their short 8-lap qualifying heat.
Bonnie started 8th and moved up to 6th, securing herself a decent starting spot in the main event.
My husband worked on my car this week. We didn't know if it was going to stick, and you know what? Awesome. He did a good job.
When we come back, Jan and I strap in and find out for ourselves what dirt tracking is all about.
Nice knowing you.
It may be the first time I've seen Jan truly nervous.
And our racing grandma races for glory in the big Saturday night main event.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
You know, one of the things we love to do on the show is highlight different traditions and things that people are passionate about in different parts of the country.
It's pretty obvious what they're passionate about tonight.
Yeah.
We're back at Deer Creek Speedway in southern Minnesota.
Here there's a division that suits just about any age and experience level.
Yeah? How about no experience at all?
Secretly, me and your crew have been working together through text messages, so you have no idea what's about to happen. Rodney, you are about to jump into a Pepsi Slingshot, which is a small size modified. The power to weight ratio is about the same as an A-mod. And I would like to introduce you to your opponent. Hunter Kennedy, can you step forward and introduce yourself?
He's gonna mop the track with me, aren't you?
I would also like to introduce Jan to her opponent, Lily Reps.
Lily's gonna wipe the track with me. Be kind, be kind. So if you think this race is gonna be easy because they're kids, think again. They are serious and competitive.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 4th year.
4th year, so
Yep.
you started when you were 10.
Yep.
This is gonna be a little embarrassing. This will be the only time I'm in victory circle here. Remember, these were made for little kids, I think.
So, they took pity on the old man and gave me a head start. I was able to hold Hunter off for a few laps, but that didn't last long.
Wow, what a thrill. What a thrill. I made him work for it. Was there ever a time you didn't think you were gonna get around me?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a win, man. I was holding you off, wasn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't
You
get
know,
around you at the
I
bottom.
feel pretty good, man. I was almost whooped up on a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You still outsmarted me and got
Oh,
around me.
yeah.
You still better than me, man.
Yeah.
Yep, just go, go, go.
Oh, easy for you to say. Oh my gosh.
Now I'm up. Generally, I love new experiences, but not this one.
I can't see over the dash. How do they see over the dash? I can't even see. I can't see.
So I'm super competitive and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's a bad combo.
Well, it didn't take long for Lily to zoom right past me. This girl is fast. After a few laps, I started to get the hang of it, a little.
You did good.
did
I've seen them a lot worse
I
than
didn't go
that.
over the end.
No, you did. You stayed on the track.
I stayed upright and on the track.
Yep.
Woohoo!
For me, a win was you only passed me once, but you were awesome. How long have you been doing this?
This is my second year.
If you had to describe the feeling when you're behind the wheel, how would you describe it?
You gotta be like fearless out there because I don't take much from people. Being a girl, I get a lot of hate, so I just try to show them what I can do.
Fearless.
Yeah.
I like it.
Though not as many as there once were, Saturday night dirt tracks are still found in small towns throughout the country.
Dirt track racing is a great part of the community. What you'll see is a lot of moms and dads and their kids, because you can come to the track, you can get in, you can get them something at the concession stand and not break the bank.
And Claim picked the best night of the year to have us visit.
Because this is the annual Tasseldega Nights, and admission is absolutely free for everyone, thanks to the Minnesota Corn Growers.
Guys, why is Minnesota Corn Growers letting everybody in free tonight?
Well, we want to promote ethanol. You know, it's a clean burning, renewable fuel that we think is the fuel of the future.
You know, we're thrilled to be here in southern Minnesota and showing everybody what a great race fuel ethanol can be.
Wait, ethanol in a race car?
Yep, 98% ethanol.
98.
I would run on 100% ethanol if it were legal, but people would drink it if it were 100% ethanol. So government requires you to
drink it?
Yeah, absolutely. The government requires you to put in 1.7% denaturant or petroleum so that people don't drink that fuel.
Shouldn't have had that extra hot dog last night.
Jonathan is a regular winner at Deer Creek in his ethanol-powered and ethanol-sponsored car.
For the gas pedal, there's two of them. Your foot goes in the middle.
And in his day job, he's a corn farmer. Plus, ethanol is one of the cleanest burning fuels available.
I give him a 6 in the dismount.
Finally, it's time for the Tasseldega Nights main event.
I've been waiting to see Wisconsin's fastest grandma. But Lady Luck didn't seem to be smiling on our grandma from the start. She got shuffled to the back of the pack, only to suffer this near miss a lap later.
Yikes! That was close.
After that, Bonnie could only move up a couple of spots before another incident near the end of the race.
How would you describe your race tonight?
Very successful. Even though I got a little bit of damage, it hooked, it stuck, and it was great. Unfortunately, when someone spins out in front of you, I had nowhere to go. Boom, that's it.
As for Ron, he was mixing it up most of the night.
And at one point, he was penalized for bumping another driver and sent to the back, so he had to work his way all the way back up.
And you passed a lot of cars.
Yeah, it's funner back there because you can pass some cars.
So neither of our racing grandparents were able to crack the top 10, but they didn't seem to mind.
Any night at the track is a good night.
Oh, it's always, 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 always a good night.
When we come back, up close with Kentucky's $1 Million Babies.
Hi.
Could this be the next Triple Crown winner?
Hi. No nipping. No nipping.
You took a plug out of it.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. The rolling hills of central Kentucky's bluegrass region is home to some of the greatest athletes in the world.
Hi, Mama.
But we're not talking the two-legged variety. The champions that grow up here are literally born to run.
Welcome to Lexington, where thoroughbred horse racing reigns supreme. And nowhere is it revered more than at legendary Keeneland Racecourse. Our tour guide, third-generation trainer Nicholas Newman. How did Lexington become the horse capital of the world?
It starts with the people who settled this area first. And the people that settled this first were called the Scots-Irish.
In the late 1700s, immigrants from Scotland and Ireland began coming to America. And many who came to Kentucky brought with them their thoroughbreds.
As a matter of fact, some historians believe that in Ireland, horse racing dates back all the way to the 3rd century. I mean, who knew?
Just the geography of central Kentucky, the open grass, the rolling hills. They've settled here because it looked like their home in Ireland. You think of central Kentucky as Ireland with much better weather.
We were lucky enough to get an up-close look at these magnificent specimens during an early morning workout.
Nicholas, tell us a little bit about Keeneland here.
Oh, the most beautiful racetrack in the world.
Wow.
Built in the 30s by a guy named Jack Keene.
Hence the name.
Hence the name. This was Jack Keene's family land. It was given to him, to his ancestors by Patrick Henry. So
wow.
Absolutely, it was a land grant in Virginia.
Keeneland's not only a racetrack, it's also the biggest horse auction house in the world.
In 2015, over $250 million, yeah, that's billion with a B, changed hands with the sale of over 2,000 horses at auction.
And they're off.
And Keeneland also played host in 2015 to the Super Bowl of thoroughbred racing, the Breeders' Cup.
And American Pharoah is into the stretch at Keeneland in the Breeders' Cup Classic. A 5-length lead as he comes to the 8th pole.
Over 50,000 fans smashed attendance records when they turned out to watch Triple Crown winner American Pharoah win his final race.
American Pharoah has belted a Grand Slam in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
So all the jockeys weigh before every race?
Before and after.
Nicholas showed us the scale where jockeys are required to weigh in before and after every race.
So this is a really accurate scale. Hundreds of thousands of dollars rely on that scale being correct. So if you want to know what you weigh.
Oh, yes, please. You know, Rodney's often made comments about my weight, so I think it's about time that he get on that and we see what the scale says about his weight.
So you don't want to jump on?
Yeah. Oh, sure, I'll jump on.
See what you got.
Yeah.
You'd need 2 horses.
No problem.
Oh, you need 2 horses. I am not getting on. Okay. So what's next?
She can dish it out, and she does that aplenty, but she can't always take it. Come on,
No,
Jen, how about?
No, I'm not getting on there.
While Keeneland has seen its share of champions, I wanted to see some babies. So we took a drive through some absolutely incredible countryside until we got to famed Magdalena Farms.
He wants that flap on your shirt there.
Yeah.
He wants that.
He wants to eat it.
Many of the new foals here have a decent shot at being the champions of tomorrow.
Maybe you're going to be the next Triple Crown winner. Huh?
The only way you're allowed to make a thoroughbred is 2 horses the old-fashioned way. The breed of thoroughbred doesn't allow AI, embryo transfer, nothing artificial. They just have to light the candles and turn the music on.
Yeah, I hope at least they buy her dinner first.
Hay and oats.
Hi, Mama. Good job. You had a very nice baby.
Breeding at this level is big business.
This horse here, she is a license to print money. Every one of her offspring that she's produced, CJ's Lily, have sold for 6 figures or more at auction.
Hi. No nipping. No nipping. You really want to have a piece of me. Rodney will give you a nice one.
There you go.
The thing about horses is they're really quick and sometimes unpredictable, so I think Rodney better watch out.
You okay?
Yeah, he took a plug out of it.
Are you bleeding?
No.
He got you good.
Now, normally I would say that Rodney deserved that, but he didn't.
I'm not exaggerating, that really hurt. I mean, I was biting my lip for a long time after that.
Well, all part of the job here at Small Town Big Deal. I think we better go find Rodney a tractor to make him feel better. We'll be right back.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal.
Disclaimer, Rodney was not injured during the horse fight.
Well, it did surprise me.
Yeah.
And how'd you like dirt track racing?
You know, I think I was way too nervous to enjoy it, and I should have definitely gotten some training from Bonnie.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah. Now, I want to know, did you let that young man win?
Well, it was the first time I'd ever driven a vehicle like that.
True.
But it was a lot of fun, and he was pretty good.
He was. He was.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
Nope. No. Yep. This? Yep. Nope, the other one. Wait. Yep. That's why I was gonna go with that. Yep, this one. Okay. Wait. Yep. Oh, and then this foot? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get your leg down. Let's get your leg down.
Yeah. Yoga on steroids. You know, I think the Duke boys did it a lot better than I. Watch your head.
You know, I always say this just for fun, but if you're on the road and somebody, you have a guy you want to run into, you can't do that. But I can. I just got to make it look like an accident.